Hello, everyone. Brett, the comic novice here. And as I think about ways of improving my, video output on this YouTube channel, I constantly come back to the idea of first appearances and first appearance fatigue. Well, this goes back, at least for me, to 2020 as I was didn't have a poll list and was just reading, a handful or two handfuls probably of comics. And to my chagrin, I found that the Batman and also, I believe, a Hell Arisen issue number 3 was not available at my local comic store at a reasonable time of the day. And this was, in fact, because I guess the Joker had a new girlfriend and she was appeared in both of them. So both of them have a first appearance. But in doing so, I was unable to, I had to basically go and buy it digitally if I wanted to read it and or wait for the second or third printing of such things. And so as I was looking at this coming week, May, what is it, 15th or so for New Comic Book Day? No, 14th. Anyway, um, I would just decided to look at the first appearances and just give some commentary on the whole thing. So as I look at this, I have Absolute Batman number 8. Now, this one's kind of an interesting appearance because we have the full introduction of Mr. Freeze. We also have the first full cover appearance of Mr. Freeze. There are two covers for this. There is the main cover, which I believe is done by Nick Dragotta, and then we have the that one by Brian Boland. And yeah, I mean, the hard part about the collecting these new Absolute books as well as the Absolute universe is there is just a cacophony of first appearances left and right. I mean, in all honesty, there's always gonna be a brand new, what is it? Absolute Batman number 7 had the first appearance of Absolute Bane. Then we've already gotten the first, issue has Absolute, this person, that person, that person. So, I mean, when are we gonna get the first appearance of the first death of the but done by the Joker? Like, I joke and, you could say that this is a complainy, uh, video, but with the collection market as it is, and I understand that, they're always just trying to make a buck or so, but to almost go overboard with these first appearances, trying to get some, you know, character that will be solicited, not solicited, making an appearance in a television series or a movie, and to get those issues kind of, collected and, maybe get some royalties from it, you kind of dumb down the idea of some of these first appearances. And because there's just so many of them, which one's going to stick? Why don't you focus on character and a story and let the first appearance of these characters actually be meaningful? I mean, unless what you could do to troll an entire crowd is just to have entire crowd of background people, and then have somebody be a background character that is actually the first appearance that went under the radar. And it would only be people who are in the know and constantly have these things on their pull list or following the comic series from beginning to current first appearance or whatnot. But besides that, but the speculator market does drive it, and sometimes I feel as though as a collector of physical material, because I do not want to own just a PDF version or a Comixology edition of everything. It is required that I take some of these things and treat them with kid gloves. I mean, it's, double-edged sword right there. So, for the week of May 14th, 2025, we're gonna finally get the full introduction of Mr. Freeze, the first cover appearance of Mr. Freeze. And moving on, we have this is interesting because every so often, Image Comics will have a issue of, of a series. Number 1, for example, was it, 8 Billion Genies? that just takes off. And so sometimes I find myself like I find the synopsis for Exquisite Corpses quite interesting, but at the same time, I accidentally forgot to pick up issue number 2. And so was I really that interested in it, or am I just focused on picking this up because it was an Image comic, number 1? Some of these kinda do take off, and again, the synopsis, every 5 years on Halloween, the wealthiest families in America play a game. 12 of the deadliest people in the world are dropped into a small town with just 1 goal. Last killer standing wins. Now, to me, that is a fantastic synopsis and whatnot. I may just trade weight this sucker because I've already forgotten to, pick up the issue number 2. And I either need to hope that I either need to drive the 30 something miles to the local comic book store and either create a hold, or just, trade weight the sucker, or do it digitally. Gwenpol number 1, the first appearance of Weapon X, EX, and Gwen Stacy with Weapon X abilities. One could say, why does this book exist? Good question, but it does. $5 for it, and you got 2 first appearances, I guess. Um, Helverine, which was a first appearance, I believe, in the Ghost Rider series by Ben Percy, and so then that got, a spinoff, and now we have a full appearance of Hell Hulk. So, I mean, we yeah, anybody who wants to get in on the Hell Hulk, train, there's your good Immortal Thor, sorry. The cover is cool. Even an Immortal Could Die. This is the Al Ewing, one. We have the first appearance of Kemmer. I guess that's a thing. I was reading this up until about, I think, issue number 8, and then I just dropped it completely. The Alex Ross covers are very nice and kind of make a fun collectible, but still something that, you either are and it's one of those double-edged swords also with the Alex Ross covers. Do you get it because you want to collect the cover, or are you getting it because the story's good? And I did a video and I just said I'm picking up some of the Amazing Spider-Man covers because Lee Guillermo is just doing some fantastic work, and I do love what he does for Batman. And I'm so far digging 2 of the covers that he done for The Amazing Spider-Man. So, I guess, I pot calling the kettle black there. So, yeah, I understood. But, low price of $4.99. And that's another thing. Um, I think I'd be more into picking up some of these things if they were at a $3.99 point. I understand, you know, the, economy situation and, trade stuff, but you know what? I wanna get these, but at a reasonable price too. But I will not buy them on eBay for, $25, which is currently is what, Batman '89, not the year '89, but the James Tynion, the 4th, Batman '89, which features the first appearance of Punchline, is going for currently. And, if they develop that character, I mean, it might be one thing, but, she just seems to be now just a background character that, had a spin-off series that I didn't want to read. Let's see, Invincible Universe, Beast Battles. This is just the first of an ongoing issue. This is done by Robert Kirkman. Ryan Ottley, who was doing the Hulk with Donny Cates and then took over when Donny Cates left Marvel at one point in time. So he was the writer and also the artist. He is going to be penning this series. I've never read an Immortal or the Invincible book before. I haven't even watched the Amazon Prime series. Maybe it's good. If it's good, drop me a note. Might get around to picking that up. Miles Morales. Now, this one, this Miles Morales Spider-Man, I feel done by Cody Ziegler. It had such good promise. I discussed this in a previous book, but it is constantly being bogged down by so many tie-ins and events that I'm curious if this book will be readable in an omnibus. I'm a w but and I will give it credit though, at least they started off trying to oh, look, God War Part 2? Is that what it says on the cover? So, is this another tie-in or series across various I don't know. I went from having, like, 10 comics being pulled monthly from Marvel to I think I'm down to 5, and 3 of them are Ultimate books, and then you have Spider-Boy and Moon Knight. And then if, you get a Lee Bermeaux cover for Amazing Spider-Man, I got that going for me. But, we have 3 first appearances of, Demigod, Demigoddess, and Powerlift. That'd be I'd like his, if the, I'm gonna guess that the character in the very far back is not Powerlift, but I think that it would be a really fun, villain for, Miles Morales to face, and, Powerlifter, one rep max guy. I think that would be an interesting, teenager versus one rep max dude. Yeah, sure. Well, let's make that a villain. Okay, Cody Ziegler, get on that. Um, oh, part of me hates that this book exists right here. Spider-Verse versus Venomverse. I thought it was when we got the introduction to Spider-Boy, I thought it was at the edge of the Spider-Verse, and then after that, it was the end of the Spider-Verse, and then we had the introduction to the Kid Venom in the Death of the Venomverse, which I didn't even know that there was a life to the Venomverse to begin with. And so now we have Spider-Verse versus Venomverse issue number 1 with 3 brand new appearances. And then we have Team Spider roster. So Spider-Man, Spider Prowler, Spider Ham, the Recluse, Weapon 7, 8, sorry, 8. Oh, sorry. They didn't make Rambos or Rockies to go that high, so I made a mental mistake. Team Venom roster, Venom, Agent Venom, Viking Venom, Spider, Clan. Wonder if he wears a robe. And yellow, whatever it is. Sure. Uh, uh, it might be worth something, or it will be in the dollar section. Supergirl. This is the brand new debut. This is what Sophie Campbell is writing. She was the writer for, I believe, the Transformers at one point in time. Or no, Transformers or Ninja Turtles. I can't remember. One of the two. And it was not a positively received run. Last time Supergirl actually had a book, it was the end, and it canceled, I believe, around issue 33 or so. I think physically it canceled around issue 33 because this was around the pandemic, and they decided that they were not going to print any of the last 2 or 3 issues of Supergirl. They were only going to be available digitally, so you had to go buy them on Comixology, and the only place that they actually exist physically is in the last Supergirl trade paperback by oh, who was it? She writes the Doctor Who, Jodie Hauser. Jodie Hauser was the last one to write Supergirl during the Year of the Villain tie-in. And so now we get a brand new debut of a number 1 for Supergirl, and we also have a debut of this new Supergirl costume and the Art Germ, the Stanley Art Germ cover is the one of the alternate covers. I did pick that one up because I do like Stanley Art Germ's art, but this is also the first cover appearance and also the first appearance of her brand new outfit and the brand new, I guess you could say, Superman S as seen in the soon to be Superman movie to be released. And then we're going to end with something that might be just the only positive or good first appearance, and that is the facsimile Fantastic Four number 5, which reprints this issue as we're getting close to the Fantastic Four movie. And this contains the first appearance of Doctor Doom, which again has some future roles to play in the Avengers movie too, since we're not having the Age of Kang or whatnot. So those are your first appearances for the week of May 14th, 2025. Are there any first appearances that you are excited to pick up? Are you annoyed that you have to, or you might feel compelled to pick up something that you don't want just to own something? I will say I'm super guilty of that. And also at the same time, I bet you that there's a whole bunch of these suckers that are going to be in the dollar section where you might find me somewhere, maybe if I can ever, get the 35 miles or so to my local comic book store. Thanks for watching. Bye.